Welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. I am Jeffrey Meldon, founder and partner at Meldon Law with my son, Kerry Meldon. And at Meldon Law, we help people who have been seriously injured in crashes, accidents, put their lives back together after they've been, their lives have been turned upside down. A lot of people want to know what our relationship is with the Gators, and we support the Gators 110%. However, we do not represent the Gators. We represent folks in the community like you, who have been in accidents that have injured themselves seriously and need some help figuring out what to do. Of course, all of our services are paid for at the end of a case. It's based on a contingency fee. And what does that mean, contingency fee? It means we only get paid when we win our case. So if your case takes 6 months or a year to get resolved, then we get paid at the conclusion of the case. However, sometimes cases, particularly the more serious injury cases that need to be litigated, can go on for 2, 3, 4, 5 years or more. It's not uncommon because the insurance industry is dedicated to making money and they collect premiums from you. However, when it's time to pay off on the contracts that they have, they are stingy. So that's why you need the help of an attorney. Statistically, a law firm will get 3.4 times more than what an individual can get on their own. These are statistics from the insurance industry. So when you think of it, if you pay a lawyer 1/3 of a settlement and they're getting you 3.4 times more than you could on your own, you're definitely ahead of the game. So remember, Meldon Law, tell your friends, tell your family, and we've been in the community since 1971, which is important to you because we have generational skills as far as helping our clients, and we also are members of the community. For the love of God, I can't understand why people go to out-of-town lawyers who they'll never meet, they'll never see, and they put somebody in Hong Kong to work on their case. And they think that because they advertise the most on TV, they're going to get them the best result. I've looked at our results, compared them with others, and I promise you, Meldon Law delivers. We get better results. Our clients put more money in their pocket. And the process is smoother. We actually work very, very hard at client communication and how to develop a case and how to make things simpler for the client. We're always adding on to our team for folks that can make the process smoother. For example, we just hired a person that does nothing but help you with your property damage. So your car is totaled and you're sitting around trying to deal with the insurance company and they don't want to pay you what your car is really worth. We have a property damage specialist in our office to, number one, get you what your car is worth, and number two, make the process work faster. While you're waiting for to be put into a new car or to get a check from the insurance carrier, we are able to also assist in getting you into a rental car. These things may not seem like a big deal, but when you need to go to work and you don't have a car, when you need to get your kids to school and you don't have a car, they become very important, very disruptive to your life. And it's one of our goals to eliminate those problems and to take on the responsibility to get those problems solved. So, when you hire Meldon Law, you should expect to get not only good service, but exceptional service. We have a motto, Meldon Law Cares. I'll see if I can remember all of it. C stands for compassion. We want our team members to understand that you're going through a lot of frustration, and that we show that we're compassionate both for serious injuries as well as other obstacles that are in your way. A is accountability. Whatever we do, we want you to know what we're doing all the time and have the ability to know that we are accountable for everything we do on your case. Number 3, R, is for responsibility. We want to be responsible to do the absolute best that we can to get you a top-notch result. The next is E for excellence. It ties in with accountability and responsibility, but excellence is in everything that we do. We want to make sure that we turn out an excellent demand package, we have an excellent mediation, we have an excellent trial, whatever it is. And S, the last letter in the word cares, is for success driven. Success driven is for our clients. We want to make sure that at all times we are looking at how to be successful in your case. And when you hire Meldon Law, if you want to meet with a real Meldon, my son Kerry Meldon, myself, we've been doing this for many, many years. Between Kerry and I think we're over 75 years, just the two of us. So we have a wealth of experience, and we're glad to help you navigate some of the murky waters that are associated with serious accidents and injuries. So that's a little bit about Meldon Law. Moving on, I wanted to talk about things happening in the community. Let's see, we got Save the 90s Music. Wow. Well, that's important. We do need to save the 90s music, because those of you that are old enough to remember the 90s, remember the great music. Some of you may not know, but I work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with a trainer, and last time we worked out, I picked 90s music as our workout music, and what a great era for terrific music. I was listening to Sublime. I don't know if any of you remember that group, but that was one of my favorite groups from the 90s. And the 90s Music Festival is May 27th at Homestead Park in Williston. Meldon Law is sponsoring the event from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Admission and parking are free. That's in Williston. And there's going to be a live performance by 90s tribute band, Never Say Never. And they're going to even have a video dance party with Steve Champagne and much more. And Premier Events NCF, North Central Florida, on Facebook is where you can get all of the information. But just remember, May 27th, Homestead Park, Williston, from 3 to 9. It's a family-friendly event, and one of our new team members, Lot Bullock, whose family goes back to the 1800s from Williston area, is going to be out there to say hi to everybody. It's going to be a great time, and let your friends know. This is a regular series of events, and they're doing a terrific job. Next, Wind FM coming up June 3rd at 7:30 p.m. June 3rd, I believe that's a Saturday. Wind FM rocks the Riley. The Riley Auditorium is an awesome venue in Ocala. There's a group called Street Life Serenader, and they do a tribute to Billy Joel, one of our favorites. Music from the 70s and 80s. Billy Joel, an iconic performer, the Piano Man. So we want to support the Riley. They're just such a terrific place. And you'll hear songs like Uptown Girl, Still Rock and Roll to Me, Piano Man, and many, many more. So let's support the Riley again. June 3rd, 7:30 p.m. Saturday night, and it's going to be an iconic night of terrific music. Next, we've got Law Talk Live radio show. Every Saturday at 10:30, myself, sometimes my son Kerry, hosts the show Law Talk Live. We started in 2002, so we're over 20 years. We're working on 21. And it's a great show. You can call in, ask any legal question. We'll help you with those matters. And if you need follow-up, we'll take care of them on Monday or Tuesday after the show. The show starts at 10:30 a.m. on 97.3 The Sky. So turn in to the show, and you can call in if you like, or you can just listen. But it's great, and 97.3 FM. The Sky is the #1 talk show in North Central Florida. So let's support what they do, and also you can get some terrific free legal advice. Another big thing coming up next October is the Alzheimer's Walk. Last year, my wife Patricia and I co-hosted and chaired the event. This year, we're also going to be chairing the event with John Tull, who's with Florida Sports Properties, and John is a terrific member of the community who really helps out in a lot of different ways. So what can you do? Well, right now we are forming business teams to help raise money for the Alzheimer's Walk next October. What's a business team? You get a group of people within an organization that are dedicated to helping support Alzheimer's. Why do we love Alzheimer's? Because it affects everybody, whether it's dementia, Alzheimer's, or some other variation of Alzheimer's. There's almost no one that I know that's not affected as far as a family member or people that are just showing early signs of dementia or Alzheimer's. What's amazing is we're on the cusp now of some breakthroughs because of genetic research. They've actually identified genes that may help slow or eliminate the development of Alzheimer's. There was a very interesting case that I read about this past week where a family in Columbia, South Carolina, or Columbia, South America, or maybe it was Ecuador, they had a dominant gene for early onset of dementia and Alzheimer's, and they analyzed it with using their DNA to find out what genes were responsible for it. And within these very large families, extended families, they were able to identify certain individuals who never developed early onset of Alzheimer's. What does that mean? They analyzed what gene makeup those folks had and found that there were distinct enzymes within their bodies that helped either slow or reject the dementia process. So there's some exciting ideas coming around on how to get those beneficial genes into people that are at high risk for developing dementia or Alzheimer's. What can you do? You can help put a team together to do two things. Educate people within the community that there are resources available, not only for cures or for minimizing the effects of Alzheimer's, but what do you do when a loved one is suffering from dementia and it's turning your life upside down? What resources are available within the community to help? So let's support Alzheimer's. What I would like you to do is to write this number down and give us a call. You can give us a call at Meldon Law, 352-373-8000. You can go to meldonlaw.com, or you can go to the Alzheimer's Association and see what, go to their website and click on participation. So whatever community you're in, Ocala, Gainesville, Lake City, wherever, go on to the Alzheimer's website, and they have a terrific resource there to help you learn how you can help this devastating disease that affects all of us. This past year, Meldon Law contributed $19.71 for every free throw made by both the men's basketball team and the women's basketball team for the Gators. And we were able to raise $10,000. Meldon Law donated $10,000 to the Alzheimer's Foundation. And last week we got to meet with Coach Todd Golden for the presentation of the check, and that was pretty cool. Todd's going to take our Gator basketball program and turn it around back to its original glory, when in 2006 and 7, Joe Kim Noah, Al Horford, and many more contributed to one of the greatest basketball teams in the history of college ball, and we won back-to-back national championships. It's amazing. Al Horford's playing for the Boston Celtics and still a contributor. In fact, he's starting for a Boston Celtics team that has been dynamic this year. So the Gators rock, and we're certainly behind them. So let's see what we can do to support Gator basketball, support Alzheimer's, and at Meldon Law we're trying to do both at the same time. Let's help our student athletes raise money for Alzheimer's. We're getting ready to take a break on Meldon Law and Friends, and we want to tell you we've got a great show today. Last week we talked with some folks about mental health that work with Meridian Behavioral, and we now have some additional team members from Meridian who are going to talk about what you can do to help the community deal with those suffering from mental health and drug addiction issues. We're going to be back in just a few minutes on Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, and we'll see you on the other side of a few spots. Thank you very much.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, two things haven't: our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit?
At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
I was going down a one-way street and a girl that was driving her car T-boned me on my scooter. I ended up going for an MRI and discovering that I had 2 herniated discs. Coming to Cary allowed me to not have to worry about what doctor I was going to see or what physical therapist I had to go to. They say, these are the people we trust. You're going to have a great experience there, and I honestly did each time.
Call Meldon Law. Your consultation is absolutely free.
There are a few tickets left for Gainesville's best pig roast and special whiskey debut. Sunday, May 21st from 2 to 5 p.m., Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is roasting a whole pig and sipping Piggyback Rye Whiskey. Join us at Vicer's Rooftop for the release of Spurrier's Piggyback Rye's private labeled barrel select whiskey. We'll have specialty drinks, games, raffles, plus each ticket includes your own bottle of Spurrier's Piggyback Rye Whiskey to take home. Go to Spurriers.com to get your ticket to join 125 of your friends at the Rooftop Pig Roast before we sell out.
I was driving behind a lady, and very suddenly she moved out of the way. There was a log laying in the road, and when I hit my brakes, I went on top of the log. I had 280 discs. I just haven't been the same since. Jeffrey Meldon fought for me all the way. Him and his team really went there for me. Throughout the whole lawsuit, he made sure that my bills was paid. It was never no whenever I called him and asked him for something.
Call Meldon Law right now.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon, because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Call Meldon Law right now.
Hey, Sammy, look who's there! Say hi!
Hey!
You again!
Meldon Law, Jeffrey speaking.
Jeffrey!
Somebody else hit us here!
Here we go again. Community, and I'd like to introduce Pretina Hutchinson Ross. How are you doing, Pretina?
Good, glad to be here.
Yeah, and Samantha Rehtorik. How are you today, Samantha?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having us on.
Well, it's our pleasure. So, y'all work over at Meridian Behavioral Health, is that right? Yeah. So, Pretina, I understand that you work in the area of crisis. So let's talk a little bit about, first of all, you have a background, a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, and you're a licensed mental health counselor. And you've been trained to work in the area of crisis. Can you talk a little bit to our listeners and viewers about what that entails?
Yes, MRT is the part where I work, which is mobile response team, and we respond to crisis calls that come in to the Meridian hotline. And so it was created by the state of Florida for purposes of dealing with mental health behaviors in the community for youth, for young adults, and for older adults, but between 25 years and younger. But as of recently, last year in 2022, they opened it up to all ages. So anyone that's dealing with crisis 24/7, we have a hotline that you can call into 24/7, that there is somebody there to be able to go into the homes, the community. We go into schools, we go into hospitals, even doctor's offices. No matter where the crisis is, you can call our 1-800 number, and we'll be available to come and reach out.
Can you give us some examples without using names of cases that you've worked in, recently or in the last year or two?
Yes, most of our cases is when someone is in an acute stressor or crises where they want to hurt themselves or somebody else. So they're saying that I want to die, and they have the means to do it, and they have a plan to do it. And so, or they want to kill somebody, and they have the means to do it, and they have a plan to do it. And so usually we're called out. A lot of our calls are in the schools, to help people, to help students deal with when they have stressors, and they really don't know how they're going to be able to make it. And so we get a call, and someone is in a distressing moment, and they really don't know, they just want to end their life. And we are called. Just recently, I got a call out at about maybe 10 o'clock the other night, and I'm talking about 24/7. And so we have PRN clinicians that are licensed that are available 24/7 after hours from 8 to 5, but after hours is from 8 to 7. And so I got a call about 10 o'clock at night about someone from the police, because we also help with the sheriff's office in whatever counties that we're serving. And this person was out in the street, and they, so we had to come out and help.
Yeah, the police can help diffuse a situation momentarily, but they're not mental health counselors, so they can't do much more than maybe, secure the person for that moment, and then you step in.
Exactly. So we'll step in, like, let's say they can Baker Act and they can do assistance with that if they're in that moment, but they will call the MRT, mobile response team, just to assist if they see where we can come in, and it might be a little more, they help do our Baker Acts, but they will call us to help assist.
Yeah, what's a Baker Act? I know what it is, but why don't you tell the listeners?
It's an involuntary admission, and we try not, mobile response team, we try not to do those involuntary admissions into the hospital where you are deemed whether you're not going to be able to, you want to hurt yourself or somebody else. So they will initiate this involuntary admission into the hospital, but we try not to do that. So we'll come in to see if we can do a safety plan, to see if we can provide services, to see if, because we work for Meridian, we can see if we can have intensive outpatient services involved before we go to actual involuntary admission.
So if somebody is just losing it, they're out of it, and they are either a danger to themselves or to others, the Baker Act was constructed in order to deal with how to get them into a safe place, usually a hospital, so that they can be taken care of. And sometimes it may just be give them a night, overnight at the hospital, and they're going to come down and get a different perspective. But oftentimes it's more serious than that, and that they are going to need a long-term plan on how to put their lives back together.
Yeah, so the Baker Act is just usually a 72-hour hold.
Correct.
So it's a crisis stabilization to get you back in a more stable state.
However, it's not a permanent solution, and usually the case will go in front of a court or a judge in the event that there's concern for a need for a longer-term plan, and then the judge will usually listen to the folks that are working with that person. Now, do you get involved at all in presenting cases to the court?
Not at this job. I used to work for the state hospital, but not for this job. I don't get involved with that. Once we do, if that's the case, if we do a Baker Act, then once we do that part, we're kind of out of it at that point.
Okay. Now, if folks are dealing with people in their family or friends that are definitely not acting normal, they're a danger to themselves, danger to others, how do they contact you, and how do they get the process started?
Yes, we have a 1-800 number. It's a crisis line where you can call 1-800-330-5615, 5616, option 1. Or you can call the regular Meridian number, which is 352-374-5600, option 1. And that's how you get us 24/7.
Well, say I can't remember those numbers, or I haven't written them down, right? Mm-hmm. If you were going to go online, what would you put in your Google search to find you?
You can also call the numbers like 911 now. We have a mental health number that you can call 988, and they will actually get you directly to us.
Oh, so 988
is a national hotline.
That one you might be able to remember, folks. 988 is the mental health crisis line, correct? correct?
It is.
So that's one thing. And if you just Googled Meridian, you might actually find it online as well.
Yes, you can Google Meridian. You can go to the website. But if you're in a crisis, remember 988, because that'll direct you exactly to where any mobile response team in the state of Florida is.
Oh, okay. So if you call 911, they might redirect you to 988.
They also will direct you to 988.
Because I always think about, if God forbid something was going on with me and I needed to get something, I wouldn't remember numbers, but I might,
remember 988 or 911.
Yeah, right. So that's what we're trying to do is we don't want to give you all too much homework. We just want you to, remember number one, there is help, okay? Is there a fee for it?
No, it's provided through Lutheran Services, which is our managing entity, and all services are free.
Okay, so services are free if you recognize somebody, what would it be, like mental health issues or severe drug addiction issues, things like that?
Yes, sir. If you're in any type of crisis, if it's mental health, which is part of substance as well, you can call that 988 number. You will get us at 24/7 in whatever counties we serve. In Alachua County, we don't serve Alachua County, but we serve Bradford, Union, Baker, Columbus, Columbia, Hamilton, Suwannee, Lafayette, Gilchrist, Dixie, Levy counties. But if you call that 988, you will get any county.
Okay.
Any county in the state of Florida.
So Alachua County, Marion County, if you dial 988, you will get to the right place.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Well, that's good to know. Who in Gainesville or in Alachua County services the 988 number?
It's a Alachua County Crises, and they're the ones that service MRT for the mobile response team for this county.
So we're big enough so that we would have our own dedicated team here in Alachua County. In Marion County, I imagine.
They have mobile response teams there.
Okay. So 988, people, that's the number.
That's the number.
Now, do more of these crises happen in the day or the night?
Mostly during the day. But at night we do get calls, but mostly during the day.
That's interesting. I would have guessed at night because, a lot of people get wigged out at night and start acting weird.
In certain counties, I can't say that we do experience a lot of calls at night. It just depends. And also a full moon.
Full moon?
A full moon. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So it's not just a wives' tale.
No, it's really real.
Okay.
I used to be a DCF investigator, so it's real.
Okay, folks, watch out for the full moon. We'll keep you up to date on when the next full moon is when we get a chance. But for now, 988, very important number to remember. And in the event that anything else fails, just dial 911 and they'll help you figure out where to go. Last week, we had a team member from Meridian on who was talking about training people to recognize both mental health issues, addiction issues, and it's an 8-hour course. So that's another option if you really want to help someone who has a long-standing problem that you're aware of that's close to you. Meridian has resources, so you can actually get trained and certified in what they call first aid mental health, and that is helping to recognize when somebody has a need for help. So I want to thank you very much for explaining that. Is there any other message you'd like to get out to the community?
Just how important it is to reach out. Don't feel embarrassed, don't feel shame to reach out and call for help. Doesn't matter, what families, I know there's a stigma out there. A lot of times we don't want people to know what's going on in our family and what our family members are going through. But these services are in place to help our families and our children. And that's why we're here. And we want to let you know that the service is here. You can call us whenever there's a crisis. And even if you don't recognize or maybe don't think it's a crisis, maybe you're going through depression and you might not know and might not understand, I'm having suicidal thoughts. Call us, because we will still be able to direct you. We can provide services. We can put services in place. We can get you into counseling. So it's not just for crises at that moment, but it's to prevent a crisis as well. So reach out. We are here to help you in any type of mental health crises or just dealing with mental health. You might not understand some of the symptoms or things that you're dealing with at the moment, but just reach out, because we're here in the community and we want to help.
What do you say to folks that are worried about making a call and getting the police involved in criminal courts and things like that?
We are not the police. We are not the police. And so many times when I go out in a crisis situation, those are the things that I let the client know, the student know, to let them know this is a safe place. And that's most important, for them to recognize you are safe and your feelings are safe and how you feel is safe. And we want to help you get better.
Great. Well, that's so important, Pretina, that people know that there is a safe place where they can go when themselves or a family member are in a crisis. Hey, look, we all go through ups and downs in life, and having a resource available that's free, it's safe, it's confidential, it's not part of the criminal justice system, is very, very important, because we never, want somebody to hurt themselves or hurt others when it was preventable. So thank you very much for all of that information. And we're going to switch now to Samantha Rehtorik. And Samantha, I understand you also work with Meridian, and you're working as far as Director of Partnerships and Engagement. Is that correct?
Yes, I am the Director of Partnership and Engagement. I'm a part of our marketing team at Meridian. And so I oversee our corporate and community partnerships. And thank you to Meldon Law for being one of our corporate partners. We love our partnership with you. And I also oversee some of our annual events, and there are many ways to be involved with Meridian. And I would love to encourage our community, including individuals and businesses, to get more involved with Meridian and learn about our services. The mobile response team is just one of the many different programs that we offer, and so I want to educate the community on ways that they can be involved and learn to access all of these resources as well.
So let's break it down a little bit. You are out there to engage the community to, number one, support what Meridian does, and also get the word out about what Meridian does. So as far as supporting the activities of Meridian, let's talk about some of the different opportunities.
Okay, we have a corporate partners program that allows businesses to get involved with Meridian and provides them with benefits throughout the year for marketing purposes, as well as training purposes as well are included in those packages. On your last episode, you learned a lot about mental health first aid with Maddie, and that is one of the benefits that we are able to provide our corporate partners, as well as individualized training. So if you do not want to go through that 8-hour program, we can customize training programs for you depending on your partnership with us. There are other ways to be involved with Meridian, including volunteering. We just had the United Way come in to help stuff backpacks. It's a backpack program we do, and we partner with different community partners to get those backpacks out to homeless individuals. And in those backpacks, there's a blanket, there's information about Meridian and our services, as well as water and snacks. And so those are utilized by Grace Marketplace, as well as our employees and other community partners to get those out. And so we allow volunteers to come in and help stuff them. Just a few weeks ago, they were able to stuff just under 300 backpacks in an hour and a half. We had 4 volunteers doing that. And so any Meridian employee can come in and request some backpacks that they can then go out and give in the community, as well as our community partners like Grace Marketplace, and also Partnerships for Stronger Families, Gainesville Opportunity Center. We work with a lot of the other nonprofits in this area to build those relationships and get those resources out. We also have 3 signature events that we do throughout the year. In September, we have our Steps to Wellness luncheon coming up. It is going to be on September 21st this year. And so there are many ways for people to get involved. They can come out to the luncheon. I'm also looking for sponsors, as well as silent auction items. So if you go to our corporate partners and page on our website, you'll be able to see my contact information, and definitely reach out related to that. We also have Miles for Meridian, which is our 5K, and then we are in February, and we also are a part of the Amazing Give and have a lot of different events that go on related to that.
So how big of a company does someone need in order to get involved?
It can be any size. It can be an individual, it can be any size company. We have different opportunities, and I can tailor it based to that individual or business's needs.
So if a community business wants to get involved with supporting the terrific work that Meridian does, how do they get in touch with you?
You can go to our corporate partners and community partners page on our website, which has additional information. We will be rolling out a new corporate partners program soon, so there's not a whole lot of information on that website, but please feel free to reach out to me and we can definitely work something out if you want to be a part of that partnership. But if you are an individual and also want to be involved in any way, once again, feel free to reach out. It's not limited to corporate and community partners. And so that information's on our website along with the events page on our website. And my cell phone number is 352-663-5376. And people can reach out to me, call or text me, and I can discuss different ways for you to get involved. If you want to be a sponsor, that's great. But if you want to just come volunteer, we are also looking for volunteers as well.
So there's a myriad of opportunities for those of you out there that want to help out. Number one, just as an individual, you can call and volunteer. If you have a business and you want to help out financially, you can donate money. And if team members want to get involved in helping out and donating their time, that's certainly another opportunity. And I think Samantha is going to be able to explain to you there's many different levels of support. One of the most important things that we find is that just getting involved. You don't have to donate $5,000 to get involved. You can just call and say, I want to get involved, I'm willing to volunteer. You can call and say, I want to donate $100, but I also want to learn more about your first aid program, because we have some team members here that we'd like to be educated with, because it makes us a better company, and we have more resources within the company, and it's a valuable tool for folks, both in their personal lives and professional lives, to have those tools. So I want to stress that if you give Samantha Rehtorik at Meridian Behavioral a call, She gave you her cell phone number. What was that again?
It's 352-663-5376.
Okay, I wrote that down because I'm going to keep Samantha's name in my notes so that we can continue our partnership with Meridian. Meldon Law has always been involved in the community, and Meridian is so revered in this community as far as the breadth and scope of services that it provides. They've been around since 1972, and after 50 years, they've really developed a terrific network of services. There's a lot of things that happen in the community that if they were recognized early enough and dealt with, treated early enough, we'd have a lot safer community. All of us are concerned when we hear about folks either committing suicide or folks killing somebody or hurting somebody seriously. And most of the time, those things are preventable. However, it takes a tribe. It takes everybody in the community to pitch in and then contact Meridian. And I think as far as expanding your partnerships and engagement with the community, you know, those are things that help reach that goal. Can you give us an idea of you know, how the partnerships work, and you know what you do at the events to help corporate sponsors get some you know, involvement and recognition for, you know, their contributions?
Yes, so there are many ways to partner with us, and it's not just necessarily, like you were saying, a monetary donation. There are ways that we can work together and partner together to educate our community. Meridian is a community resource, and so I do like to promote that it's not just about donations and sponsorships, but we can work together and to help each other out. But when it comes to our corporate partners benefits, we do promote on social media, tagging our different corporate partners. We also have a monthly newsletter that goes out that has recognition for our corporate partners. And there are, we recognize them at all events because corporate partners are a sponsor automatically for all of our signature events, and they get recognition based on the level, whether it's their logo on a slideshow or on all the marketing materials. It just depends on your level of contribution as to what exactly that looks like, but we do value our corporate partners and want to make sure that they are seen throughout the year as being corporate partners of Meridian.
Well, that's something that's very important. At Meldon Law, we always encourage folks to engage with local businesses, local community organizations, and certainly Meridian is one. You know, we're in Gainesville. It's a very unique community. We have the great University of Florida, UF Health, and all these terrific companies around. So I want to encourage everybody to support what Meridian is doing. And again, if you're interested, just Google Meridian Health, Meridian Behavioral Health, whatever, Meridian. If you Google Meridian, I promise you'll find this fine organization. And Meldon Law is a proud supporter of everything that y'all do. So thank you very much for joining us this week on Meldon Law and Friends. And thank you all very much for watching and listening to Meldon Law and Friends. And we'll be back next week.